Hi, let's understand basic motion capture. Do you think it's something too complicated? You can't make it in your home? I have just used the logic of motion capture right now, and I didn't use a complicated software, and I am not using all that equipment with that camera here with that points on my face. I'm not using that. This class is important to understand the basic of motion capture. So let's understand the definition. Motion capture or rotoscopy consists of capturing actors' body and face expressions to be used in animations. So it's that. I can make it right now here when I am moving my hands, moving my head. I can use frame by frame by frame by frame and transform it in a drawing using a simple way in my computer here. So this is the main thing. And the origin is the drawings. You know, if you draw a page and you draw another page, you draw another page, and you make different positions, the first page, second page, third page, fourth page, and so you do that, you see it. There is an interesting animation when we do that. So this is the basic point of the animation. But even when we think about very old animation like Snow White, Sleep Beauty, what did they get in that time? They get that drawings are not enough, especially when we have someone dancing. So Max Fleischer, he created the rotoscopy. They need the reference. Okay, how is gonna be the legs? How is gonna be the hands and the body? And it's hard to imagine it and draw everything. So this is the motion capture. And even if we think about Snow White, that is the first length feature film we have, they get it. They draw. They have a team doing that, but they also need the actress Marge Belker and dancing. And when she was dancing with the seven dwarfs, they need this technique for having these references. Okay, so when we have actors and actresses dancing, we start having the motion capture, and you may use it and do it even if you don't have a special software. But when we are talking about very expensive and very professional movies, we are talking about computer graphic, and we may have a very special work here. And a good example is Avatar, because here, okay, they have that equipment, they have points, and they transform a face into a very special and unique character. And it's interesting when we talk a little bit more that we have Star Wars. Here I have an example, and you see how he changes, and you see how they construct a face. And here we have an interesting position with Bellow Princess. Do you know who is the actress, and do you know who is computer graphic? I imagine you know, right? This is the computer graphic. And so when we use motion capture, there's something very important I'm gonna give you here in notation. Uncanny Valley usually happens with motion capture technique. This is something important and special. So even if it's very sophisticated technique, sometimes when you want it to be real, very real, and like ordinary people in our routine life, it's complicated. It's the uncanny valley. I see it. I know there's something weird, but I don't know how to explain. It's weird. So motion capture is very nice when we have movies with a fantasy environment. And this works pretty well, example of Avatar. But when I want it to look real, the audience say, this is not good. And it happens with Star Wars, for example. But an example like Blade Runner, this character, she's not real. She's not human. So the audience says, so they identify that the uncanny valley, say, but it's okay. It's part of the character because she's not a common human. She's not human. So this uncanny valley is used for that. It was proper, I mean. And before we finish this class, I have here another rotation. There are different types of animation. It's very common to confuse computer graphic. For example, this movie, Finding Nemo, is just computer graphic. There's no motion capture for it. And it's very common to confuse stop motion too. Course Bride is not computer graphic. It's a stop motion. What does it mean? They are dolls. They are physics. They weren't made in the computer. Of course, the computer is always used to make it better in a color correction, something like this. But it's dolls and scenery. It's not computer graphic. And the result is pretty good too. Doesn't matter if it is dolls and scenery, if it's computer, if it's drawings, if it's motion capture, because we have actors and actresses. Doesn't matter. So I put here in this class these different animations so you have comparison and you get, this is computer graphic, this is dolls and sceneries, this is drawings, this is motion capture. And you may have two animation with more than one technique when I have an example as avatar. And I invite you to my course, From Script to Video, how to transform a story into a movie. And you're going to understand the whole process of constructing a movie. Let's start being a producer of your first movie, right? What do you think? You have the link below here. This is www.internationalstreamingacademy.com. I see you in the next class.